I saw the simmering tension between the duplicitous Duke and his facelift-enhanced wife. Here's the red carpet arrival.
And they go, I got to make that go away. But there's real estate on a website homepage. There is real estate there on a newspaper front cover. And something has to be filled in there about someone royal.
It all started with a single post, one tiny, unexpected post that Meghan Markle never saw coming, especially not from someone she once called her ride or die in Hollywood. Loyalty expires faster than a streaming deal gone cold, and when the cameras roll and secrets start to spill, that loyalty, it vanishes quicker than champagne at a Netflix afterparty. But this time, the sting didn't come from a tabloid or a palace insider. It came from deep within Meghan's own circle, a woman she once broke bread with, laughed with, maybe even trusted when the spotlight felt too heavy. And the second that post hit the internet, boom, Prince Harry reportedly lost it. Let's rewind for a second. Just a few weeks earlier,
From Until Their Past Comes Knocking.
Meghan was on what she called her Paris redemption tour. She was determined to rewrite her story, to be seen not as the fallen Duchess, but as a fearless trendsetter reclaiming her crown. Those pictures of her at the Ritz, sipping espresso in oversized shades, were supposed to scream comeback queen, but instead, the whispers started again. Who's paying this time? And just as the gossip began to die down, bam! Her so-called friend, let's call her the insider, posted something cryptic on Instagram. Nothing wild at first glance, just a nostalgic throwback from their old Soho House days. The caption? Some people forget where they came from until their past comes knocking. It was subtle, too subtle. And in the social media jungle, subtlety is pure gasoline. Within hours, the internet was on fire. Comments exploding, theories flying, everyone digging for hidden meanings. Was it a betrayal? A warning? Or maybe a perfectly timed bomb meant to expose Meghan's truth? Because here's the twist. This insider wasn't just some random old friend. She was the friend, the one who'd been there before the titles, before the California mansion, before the global fame. She knew the early days, the hustles, the whispers, the strategy behind Meghan's rise. The same friend who once helped build the image that would later crown Meghan as the Duchess who outsmarted the firm. And now, she wasn't playing along anymore. Sources say Harry found out about the viral post before Meghan did. His phone was blowing up with alerts from aides and publicists. One insider said his reaction was volcanic. He stormed into their Montecito kitchen, phone in hand, demanding answers. Who is this friend? Why would she post this? He allegedly shouted, pacing around as the news spread like wildfire. Meanwhile, Meghan wasn't furious. At least not yet. She was stunned, shocked that someone she once trusted had broken rank, because for Meghan, every relationship, every photo op, every carefully chosen word is part of the grand chessboard she plays in both royal and Hollywood circles. This wasn't just a betrayal, it was a strategic hit. By sunrise, that one cryptic post had snowballed into a full-blown scandal. The insider went live on TikTok, glass of white wine in hand, her voice shaking with that mix of nerves and boldness. She didn't say anything outright damaging, but what she did say, oh, it hit deep. She laughed softly and began spilling just enough tea to make everyone listen. She talked about how Meghan allegedly used to practice princess poses in the mirror years before meeting Harry, how she once dreamed about marrying someone royal or billionaire rich, and how, back in her early grind days, Meghan never just hung out for fun. She was always working an angle, always planning her next move. And here's the part that sent shockwaves across the internet. The friend claimed Meghan had scripted her entire narrative before the Oprah interview, allegedly rehearsing every emotional pause, every line meant to pull at global heartstrings. I'm not saying she's fake, the friend said during the stream, but let's just say she's always known how to turn pain into profit. The clip went viral instantly, 20 million views in under 24 hours. Meghan Exposed was trending everywhere, from London to LA. And Harry? Sources say he absolutely lost it, furious, not just at the friend, but at Meghan too. How could someone from her inner circle blindside them like this? A royal biographer claimed Harry was overheard muttering something along the lines of, "This is exactly why the family never trusted anyone around you." If true, Those words cut deep behind palace doors. Montecito insiders say Meghan went into full crisis mode. Her team scrambled to contact the friend, hoping to clarify, even offering a sit-down to correct the record. But it was too late. The story had already taken a life of its own. And here's the kicker. Major outlets were sniffing around, digging through British tabloids, American gossip shows, even French publications covering her Paris trip. Everyone wanted to know the same thing. Who was this friend? And what else did she know? Rumours swirled that streaming platforms were circling. The very same company that handed Meghan and Harry their multi-million-dollar deal for an unfiltered tell-all might have been interested in her story next. The narrative flipped fast. Harry, watching the fire spread online, reportedly demanded a statement, something to downplay the feud, framing it as a simple misunderstanding between friends. But Meghan, proud and unyielding, refused to bow to someone she viewed as an inferior player. Instead, she allegedly struck back quietly, using influence rather than words. Her team began feeding positive stories to sympathetic journalists, highlighting Meghan as the misunderstood victim of jealous acquaintances. Charity work, motherhood, resilience, all polished to perfection. But no PR could erase the sting of betrayal, because this time the knife had come from inside her circle. For Harry, it was the final straw. Sources say he felt humiliated that Meghan's personal life kept leaking into public view, tarnishing whatever credibility they still had. Tensions at home reached an all-time high. Harry allegedly retreated to his office for hours, ignoring calls and meetings, while Meghan faced the storm head-on. Meanwhile, the friend, emboldened by viral fame, posted again, a short, sharp caption. Sometimes the truth doesn't need a palace, it just needs UIFI. The internet went feral. Witty, pointed, and impossible to ignore. Meghan, already reeling, reportedly broke down in tears that night. This wasn't just betrayal, it was full-on exposure. The friend hadn't simply lifted the curtain on Meghan's public image. She reminded the world that her fairy tale wasn't as seamless as it seemed. Fans and critics split, some defending Meghan, saying everyone deserves privacy, while others insisted it was about time someone spoke up. One thing was certain. The balance of power had shifted. For the first time in a long while, Meghan wasn't controlling the narrative. Now the story was being told about her, and that's exactly where things start getting truly dangerous. When the dust settled from the viral storm, it looked like Meghan Markle might finally be forced to take a step back. Regrouped, strategized, maybe even called an emergency PR huddle with her Montecito team. But oh no, calm wasn't on the menu. Because if there's one thing Meghan Markle doesn't do, it's sit quietly while someone else hijacks her spotlight. Insiders say the Montecito mansion turned into a full-blown war room overnight. Blinds drawn, phones buzzing non-stop. Meghan reportedly paced for hours, phone in hand, refreshing feeds, rereading every post, every comment, every sly jab. One source claimed she wasn't just upset, she was incandescent. You could almost feel the fury radiating off her. Every text, every emoji, every whispered theory online seemed like a personal assault, fueling her need to act fast. Harry wasn't faring any better. He'd spent years shielding Meghan from criticism, keeping the world at bay. But this was different. This wasn't palace gossip or an anonymous tabloid smear. This was personal. It came from someone Meghan had once trusted and loved, and worse, it went viral. The betrayal cut deeper than any headline or story ever could. The humiliation hit Harry hard, too. Sources say he snapped at staff, blaming Hollywood fakes and careless friends for dragging Meghan's name through the mud. But beneath the anger was exhaustion. A UK royal insider said he feels like they're fighting ghosts. Ghosts from her past, ghosts from his family, ghosts that never seem to disappear. It's a battle that never ends. And every new revelation is another reminder of how exposed they really are. Meghan's fury, though, wasn't random, it was strategic. Within 48 hours of the viral TikTok, her team allegedly kicked into code red mode. Calls were made to friendly outlets. Whispers were seeded across social media. Suddenly, stories began appearing, painting Meghan as the victim of a jealous ex-friend trying to cash in on her fame. Classic Meghan, control the narrative before it controls you. But this time, the story refused to bend, no matter how many carefully planted whispers or curated posts were launched. Meanwhile, her former friend, dubbed the whistleblower by the press, was quietly signing a deal. Not just any brand collab or magazine interview. No, this was major, streaming giant Netflix. The same platform that once handed Harry and Meghan their 9-figure contract was reportedly in talks to feature the friend in a tell-all documentary on the dark side of fame and friendship in Hollywood. Publicly, no names were confirmed, but everyone knew exactly who it was about, and the pressure was relentless. That's when it went nuclear. One tabloid claimed Meghan was in full meltdown mode. She allegedly stormed out of a meeting, shouting that Netflix was stabbing her in the back. After all the effort she and Harry had put into building credibility, this felt like a betrayal on the grandest scale. Harry reportedly begged her to ignore it, to let it blow over, but Meghan isn't built for silence. She's built for control. Seeing someone else seize the narrative, especially on the platform that once celebrated her, was unforgivable. Tension between them reached a boiling point. Witnesses said that during a dinner with friends in Santa Barbara, Harry was withdrawn, trying to keep the peace, while Meghan could barely contain her rage, reportedly complaining that she was being targeted from every direction. First the royal family, then the media, and now her own friends. Meghan Markle had nowhere to hide. But Harry, already fraying under the pressure, reportedly snapped back. Maybe if you stopped fighting everyone, they wouldn't all become enemies. That line hung heavy in the air. Sources close to the couple say Meghan left the table in tears, retreating to the restroom for nearly 20 minutes before returning with red eyes and a forced smile for the public. Outwardly, they were the picture-perfect pair, but behind the smiles, the foundation was cracking. Meanwhile, the friend's story kept spreading, mutating, feeding the online frenzy. Talk shows dissected every word. Royal commentators speculated on air. Even late-night comedians slipped in pointed jokes. And then came the moment that changed everything. Netflix dropped a teaser trailer, just 30 seconds long, featuring a shadowy silhouette and a woman's voice singing, "Fame doesn't change you. It reveals who you always were. No name, no face." But the subtext was crystal clear. Meghan reportedly lost it. She allegedly called her PR team in the middle of the night, demanding to know if the release could be legally stopped. When told it didn't mention her by name, Meghan reportedly fumed, "Everyone knows it's me. They're humiliating me without saying it." Harry, however, was done fighting. Insiders claim he withdrew completely, spending long hours away from the house, even booking solo meetings with advisors to discuss their ongoing Netflix obligations. His biggest fear? That the platform might cut ties altogether, taking away not just credibility, but a major financial lifeline. By this point, the public had taken sides. Some saw Meghan as a victim of betrayal, others called it poetic justice. The Duchess finally facing consequences for her own manipulative behaviour. Every talk show, gossip page, and Twitter thread was pulsing with her name. But for the first time, her silence wasn't strategic. It was defeat behind closed doors. She reportedly broke down completely. Friends say she spent days in bed, refusing calls, skipping events, and crying over what she saw as the ultimate betrayal. Doria, her mother, allegedly flew in to check on her, but even that reunion couldn't soften the edges of humiliation. Harry tried to comfort her at first, but their arguments grew too frequent, too explosive. He was tired of the endless crises, the public battles, the emotional whiplash. One insider said, "He loves her, but he's exhausted by the drama." And then came the final twist. The friend didn't stop at one documentary.
But this time, the narrative refused to cooperate.
Her, whether they were true or not, to avoid other less favourable stories being printed.
Because as
Reports emerged that she had signed with a major podcast network, premiering an episode titled The Duchess and the Truth. Within hours of that announcement, Meghan's PR team scrambled again, pitching positive stories and even accidentally leaking photos of Meghan and Harry at a charity event, smiling hand in hand. But the internet wasn't buying it. The narrative had solidified. Meghan, once the media's golden girl, was now seen as the queen of manipulation, finally facing her match. For Harry, it was heartbreaking. He had given up everything, his family, his titles, his reputation, to protect Meghan. But in that moment, as he watched her unravel under the weight of her own past, he realized something no royal training could prepare him for. You can protect someone from the world, but you can't protect them from themselves. The friend's betrayal didn't just ignite a media firestorm, it exposed the cracks in Meghan and Harry's empire. And as Hollywood's gaze turned elsewhere, one question lingered across Montecito. What happens when the world finally stops listening? If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. We want to hear your thoughts on Meghan, Harry, and the shocking fallout of this betrayal.